Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. And if you're looking for value, click subscribe. You found it, you found the community that's right for you. This is a community. We can bounce ideas off each other and ride this commodity bull market higher. So if that interests you, definitely click subscribe. I'm gonna go over copper, diversified mining companies, maybe even some other like rare earth metals, kind of mix some stuff in here to look at the charts to see what's going on. So let's jump in here and see what's going on. I call this copper. So I'm zoomed in on copper here. I'm looking at the short term. I'm looking at this right-hand side. We're still in this downtrend line pattern. You know what? I'm going to draw it in. I forgot to draw it in here. But we're still in this downtrend here. There's the line right there. I'll thicken it up for everybody. Copy it. But there's the downtrend line right there. And we have not broken it yet, although it does look, there's a battle going on right in this section here. Big up days here, and we got this big down day. We'll see what happens. But I'm rooting for a break to the upside. Now here's it on a little bit longer term perspective. I'll draw it in here real quick. I'm just looking at basic analysis here. Now, we could see a short-term move lower. We very well could. We've got this nice big uptrend. It has moved quite substantially on the short term. And what I'm focusing in on here is this side right here. This could take some time and it could pull back some over the next months, and maybe even year. And the reason I'm saying this is I mean, some people can obviously look at it. This could be a shoulder head shoulder playing out where we pull back a little bit more. Sometimes when we go up, we can get this kind of rollover, kind of rolls over for a little bit, and then has to base out a little bit longer. But on the long-term picture, it looks good. The short term, we could see a little bit of sideways to lower action. But we'll see. We'll see what the markets trade here. Here's COPX, Global X Copper Miners ETF, to get a kind of a overall view on it. We are still in this downtrend, but it is trying to move higher. Yeah, over the past couple of days. We'll see if it breaks. And what I mean by this is the trend line here. As you guys can see me kind of draw this in. There it is that I'm looking at. Can even draw it like that. This one's been broken on this uptrend line broke to the downside. And we're moving in a downward sloping pattern. Southern Copper, you know, we've got a couple of kind of up days here. You just draw this across. Really, what I want to see is a break of this level to the upside to basically nullify this move to the downside. We've got Vale. This guy's looking actually pretty strong. I'd like to see like a $23 break. It breaks 23 bucks. This thing could move substantially higher. They tried pushing this thing down, or the market did, but nice, good response right here with that bullish engulfing and the little wick at the bottom. That looks pretty good. BHP is not, and that looks good too. So we're getting these mixed signals. I mean, we got this bottom here. It held. We're moving on up. We'll see if this momentum can continue. And we broke this downtrend here. Wow, we just got to get through this, $80 area, and it's going to look good. We could see a large move higher in BHP. Glencore, nice big jump off this bottom here. Does it have the staying power to continue? We'll have to monitor it. Tough to say. Now here's Copperbank, a smaller copper company. It's pulled back quite substantially. We're still in this downtrend. We got to see it break the downtrend. Here's NGEX, probably one of my favorite small companies. I like the big move higher with these big candlesticks. slow leak off of sellers. And I think we're getting close to, I think, a bottom at some point. This is a smaller copper development type company, exploration development company. I probably, I wouldn't bet the farm on it. But I'm sharing it because I own it, a little bit in it. Here's Alphamin. This is a tin company. Moving on up, and this thing is looking all right. We are seeing a little bit lower highs. I like to see it break and make higher highs. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see a break of 80 cents. But it looks like it is kind of coming to this point all in this area where it could potentially break at any point now. Here's Nova Royalty, another company that I like quite dramatically. It's a royalty company with copper and nickel. We are still kind of moving sideways at the moment, but I think it's looking better. I think this is probably the last correction here. Coming up, pull back, and I think we're going to see, hopefully, a move higher soon. Now, here's REMX. I'm going to draw on this guy. This is one that I was saying that I really liked right there. Right here is where I was getting really excited about it. We have this pattern, broke to the upside, pulled back a little, and now we're still taking off, running higher. REMX is still a good setup if you like it right here. I think it's going to continue to move higher. And I put a good stake in this one. I really did. So I put a good, a very good amount in this, in the tip of this area, and I bought some more on the break. Here's Appia Energy, kind of another rare earth uranium company. This guy's been coming up. It's had a pretty good run. Nice little pullback. We're coming up a little bit. I'm just showing this chart. I probably wouldn't be entering it here. I'd look for a better entry point myself. But that's one of the rare earths that I wanted to cover. And here's Rare Element Resources. This guy is, we've got the large, big moves higher on the left-hand side under big volume. We've got the slow leak off of sellers with the big kind of up days in here. I think we're going to see a pop higher at some point over the next month, we'll call it. So that one's doing a kind of a nice kind of dead period coming up. Now, would I bet the whole farm on it? No, I wouldn't. It's a small company. But I have some money in there. If we see a pop higher, that's where I look for those free ride type things. A free ride is when you, let's say this thing jumps 100 or 200%. It goes up. I take my original money out. I let my profits ride. And then I deploy my money elsewhere if I see better opportunities. I don't know this company as well as some of the other ones, so I don't have a huge stake in it. I'm kind of playing more of a trade on it than a long-term investment, just because it's so volatile. And I think we could see a decent sized pop here, hopefully. But I don't normally do that. I take some money. I try to test my technical skills and see if I still got it. But the majority of my stuff, it's all in long-term investments. And sometimes I take some of these smaller companies and try to push the technical trading on it and see if I can get a free ride out of it and let it ride with some of these rare earth metals. And the rare earth metals, the reason I'm doing it with them is they go up so much during some of these bull markets that it's incredible the returns that could be had in some of these companies. So I'm really playing it with the ETF since there's a lot of Chinese rare earths and other strategic materials in that. And that's where the majority of the materials are going to come from, is China. I don't want to play it directly. I'd rather just take it as one big group, lower my risk a little bit, but have exposure to those Chinese companies. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.